Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Stokes Sounds Off. I'm your host, James Stokes. As announced by the newsroom in the Church News on February 12th, Elder Clark G. Gilbert, a General Authority 70 since April 2021, and the Commissioner of Church Education since August of that same year, was called to be the newest member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. According to the reports, that call was extended by Church President Dallin H. Oaks on Wednesday, February 11th, and Elder Gilbert was ordained an apostle by President Oaks and the other 13 apostles the following day. His call fills the vacancy created by the December 27th, 2025 death of President Jeffrey R. Holland, who was serving as the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles when he passed away. Elder Gilbert, who was born in Oakland, California on June 18, 1970, is 55 years old and brings a wide range of experience to his new calling. Perhaps most significantly, when he and his wife, Sister Christine Gilbert, were sealed in the temple, it was then Elder Jeffrey R. Holland who officiated at their sealing, which is something I cannot believe is coincidental. The reports note that Elder Gilbert made the following statement in response to his call, quote, "This is an amazing time to point people to the Savior Jesus Christ. When we do that, we can find joy and comfort and peace in Him. As President Russell M. Nelson once said, it is much harder to find happiness where it doesn't exist. And we're so grateful that I have this calling now to witness that Jesus is the Christ. If people all across the world will look to Him, He will make their lives better, more meaningful, more joyful. And it happens in and through our Savior Jesus Christ." Close quote. Young Clark grew up in a family where he was taught that there is a connection between education and church membership. He served a full-time mission in the Japan Kobe mission, then went on to graduate from BYU in 1994 with a bachelor's degree in education. He also has a master's degree in East Asian Studies from Stanford University and a doctoral degree in business administration from Harvard. He married Sister Christine Calder in 1994, which, as mentioned, was officiated by then Elder Holland. They went on to raise 8 children together. At the invitation of Elder Kimby Clark, Brother Gilbert taught at BYU, Idaho, and later served as CEO of Deseret Digital Media, as the president of the Deseret News, as the president of BYU, Idaho, and as the inaugural president of BYU Pathway Worldwide. Elder Gilbert has served as an Elders Quorum president, bishop, counselor in a stake presidency, Area 70, and General Authority 70, among many other callings. I was kind of hoping the new apostle would be announced soon, and even though I wasn't expecting Elder Gilbert to be called to fill that vacancy, as soon as I read about his call, the Spirit confirmed to me that he has indeed been called of God. One thing the article doesn't mention is how long he will continue to serve as the Commissioner of Church Education. There is a precedent for apostles serving in that capacity. If they do replace him down the line in that capacity, there won't be as much of a domino effect as there was with the apostolic call of Elder Gerald Causet. As a matter of interest for those of you who may enjoy the data, which some may call trivia, Elder Gilbert is the first apostle to be born in 1970, making him 55 years old. His birthday is on June 18th, making him the second current apostle to have a birthday in June. Elder Gerald Causet's birthday on May 20th precedes President Eyring's birthday on May 31st, Elder Bednar's on June 15th, and Elder Gilbert's on June 18th. So in the space of less than a month, 4 of our apostles will now be observing their birthdays, which is something that, to my knowledge, has not occurred for a very long time. Elder Gilbert is also the youngest apostle to be called since Elder David A. Bednar was called in 2004 when Elder Bednar was 52. Elder Gilbert is also the third current apostle after President Eyring and Elder Bednar to have served as president of BYU Idaho, or Ricks College as it was formerly known. He is also the first apostle since the October 2015 call of Elder Dale G. Renlund to be called to the apostleship without having previously served in either the presidency of the 70 or the presiding bishopric. As another piece of information, the circumstances surrounding Elder Gilbert's call are somewhat interesting. Apparently, Elder Gilbert accompanied President Oaks to BYU Provo, where the prophet gave his first public address on Tuesday, February 10th. At that time, Elder Gilbert noted he could tell the prophet had something weighing on his mind, but President Oaks didn't say anything to Elder Gilbert in that regard on Tuesday. It was only the next day, after a routine meeting of the Church Board of Education, that President Oaks asked to meet with Elder Gilbert. Elder Gilbert assumed that it would be a routine matter relating to the church education system. Instead, President Oaks extended the apostolic call and told him he, Elder Gilbert, would be ordained an apostle the next day. So the new apostle went home and shared the news of his call with his wife. They spent most of that night talking about what they admired about each of Elder Gilbert's apostolic callings. The next day, Elder Gilbert met with the other apostles who ordained him to the apostleship, and on Friday, Elder Gilbert met with representatives of the press. It has often been a pet peeve of mine when reporters ask church leaders gotcha questions, but by all appearances, Elder Gilbert handled any such questions with kindness but frankness. Elder Gilbert's call was seen by some media outlets as being controversial, given some things he has said and actions he has taken as the Commissioner of Church Education. And there are, unfortunately, always those sources that are never happy with an apostolic pick, regardless of who is called and chosen. In view of those facts, I cannot overstate the vital importance for each of us to have or to do the necessary work to obtain our own individual witness that each of the living apostles have been called of God. As one who has obtained that witness for myself, I testify that Elder Gilbert has indeed been called of God, and that we will be blessed as we follow his counsel and that of his fellow 14 apostles. I invite you all to stay tuned here for my coverage of the latest updates from the Church News, the Newsroom, and the Church of Jesus Christ Temple sites. I'll be sure to pass word of those updates along to you all as soon as the time and my circumstances allow me to do so. In the meantime, that does it for now. All comments are, as always, welcome and appreciated on any video or short at any time, as long as all such feedback is made in accordance with the established guidelines. I hope any of you who would like to share anything will take your opportunity to sound off in the comment section below. If you liked what you watched here and would like to stay informed of newly added videos and shorts, please consider subscribing to this channel to receive the applicable updates. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Until next time, I wish you all the best and pray that the Lord will bless you all in everything you do.